Yeah, tweet that out, tweet that out, tweet that out. What's good, folks?
We
What's
here.
good, people?
What's
We
good,
back
folks? Motley
again.
Crew action tonight. Piece the bug on assignment.
3-man
How we
booth.
doing, fellas? Are we good? We good? How y'all?
I'm doing all right, man.
Been on go, man. It's
Another.
so much with the day job, the after workings. You know what I'm saying? Still got the tour with Elijah. Toronto was really good. Raleigh was really great the other night. Really great crowd in Raleigh. And we got Nashville on Saturday. So Death Discovery After Death Tour continues. You know
Woo!
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nashville,
Um,
Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee, bro. Interesting turn of events where that's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. But it's going to be good, man. It's going to be a good
Uh,
run. We working, man. We working. It's been a hell of a week. A lot of pay-per-views. Still some more pay-per-views to go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
much news and drama. I
mhm.
figure we might as well let y'all listeners and viewers know that we just going to do predictions tonight. We're going to get right to the predictions when it comes to that. We're still going to give y'all our surveys. But if y'all came to the Ringside Club for the recap this week, it's all catch us on next week's episode. You know what I'm saying? It's so much going on. I'm sure y'all done heard everybody's show and everybody's take on, you know what I'm saying, All Out. And, next week we'll give y'all the roundup after, All Out, All In, All Above, All Just Because, Payback, Pay In, all of it. You know what I'm saying? We got it. This week, we got
Mhm.
2 shows on the
Two
docket.
shows to run down, man.
Mhm.
We got a new champ here, by the way, too. Congrats to you, bro. Congrats to you.
Salute to the new champ.
Let's see if you can make it out of this weekend alive, man.
I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Seeing as Bugs don't have his predictions in, I think I got a good advantage already.
Nah, we'll Bogon, he'll get that pass. He'll get that pass. He'll get that pass. Bogan's probably the one that deleted the note.
Nah, you're right. That's
Yo,
actually funny.
that shit.
That's actually funny.
That shit.
On
That
the
was probably
low.
his assignment, man. Trying
Yeah,
to
on the
Bro,
low.
sabotage, trying to get that belt back.
that was good. That was
Y'all know
good.
what time it is. Y'all know what the show is. This is the show before the show, otherwise known as survey time. So, like your man, like the defending champ mentioned earlier, we just came off a pay-per-view weekend. It was just AEW All In, 81,035, I believe, was the official legit ticket sold number. So, congrats to everybody over at the Elite
Congratulations.
Squad.
Really good.
Hmm.
But speaking of that,
Absolutely, man.
AEW All In, the survey to go around the ring before we get this show started. What was everybody's favorite match? AEW All In, we had, I don't know, somewhere around 9, 10 matches, I believe, something like that. What was everybody's favorite match? I'm going to start, I'm gonna say a tie. Punk and Joe was definitely like just my style of let's just get down to it, brass tacks. You know what I mean? It was
Hmm.
under 20 minutes. It might have been closer to 10, whatever the time is. And then the match after that, the six-man tag, Bullet Club Gold
Hmm.
versus the Elite, Golden Elite. That was
Okay.
dope. I mean, we got a chance to see Kenny Omega really shine and be the MVP that we know him to be in the
Hmm.
last 5 minutes of that match. So either way, couldn't go wrong with any match really. But those are my two favorites.
Yes, sir. So my favorite two matches was FTR versus Young Bucks. Great performance.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was the main event, MGF versus Adam Cole. That I thought it was fantastic. I feel like they gave you everything, like drama,
Comedy.
good comedy, good matches, romance, bromance, I should
A
say, like
little bromance never hurt.
bromance at the end, when they hugged it out. So like, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it was I think it was a great match. So yeah, those are my two
Work.
favorites.
I'm going to go with a combination of the both of y'all. CM Punk and Samoa Joe.
Mm,
Exactly my style of match. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't what they gave us on Collision. This was just that much more turned up. I love CM Punk, walking that fine line of like, I'm going to be a baby face. Y'all want me to turn heel, but it's not happening. Channeling all of the, callbacks to the Hulk Hogan, the John Cena, the Triple
Yeah.
H a little bit. I loved it. Like, I really enjoyed it. Bar all the drama that happened. Kayfabe only. I enjoyed the match, the real world championship. We knew Samoa Joe wasn't gonna take that, and he can bounce back. He most likely will bounce back with his title defense this coming Sunday against Shane Taylor, of all random people. So we've got that to look forward to. And second match of the night would have to be the main event, MJF, Adam Cole. It's pretty surreal that those two guys main evented the first ever 81,000 Wembley show for All Elite Wrestling. If you would have put that on the bingo cards 3 years ago, even during the pandemic, would you have been like, yo, MJF, Adam Cole's going to main event a show in London,
Not at
biggest
all.
ticket? I'd have
Not
been
at all.
like, that's like saying MJF's going to main event WrestleMania 3 years from now. And it's like,
Right, right.
I don't see that
I mean, yo,
happening.
this probably a better chance of that happening now than it would have been these two main event in this show 3 years ago. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
It's
That's a
probably a
fact.
better chance of that happening now.
You know what I mean? So,
But
bar
for
all the
sure.
hokey shit that happened, with the finish. I called it to a T. I wish it was on FanDuel or DraftKings. Luckily,
DraftKings,
we
yeah.
have a podcast that can, showcase all of the results. And I called this, man. I said it to a T that there was going to be no turn. It was going to be all hugs and smiles. They're going to win the belts and continue on, man. MJF retains. And that's exactly what it was.
Hey,
So
I do recall me saying that there were three legitimate, realistic possibilities. It was either going to be
you
one of the
did.
two, turn,
You did.
or what nobody really thinks is going to happen, except for you, I'll give you credit, but what nobody, for the most part, thought was going to happen, but nobody would be mad at if it did happen, which is them happy ending it out at the end of
Yeah.
that show. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, for sure.
Get to the
All right,
show,
that's
man.
those are our favorite matches from All In. We'll definitely do a full rundown of All In, All Out, Payback, and all of the above, whatever else is clever next week. But right now, let's get this show started.
Peace to the gods, the ringside club pod. My name is A.O. Say you heard around the dawn. Blame Boogie while you at it, blame Chad Law. K-Fave is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the venue, fly, burn the bar down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the pod. Ringside club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Peace,
Yes,
peace, peace,
Yeah,
peace,
hey.
peace to the gods, of course, peace to the earths, man. Before we even do the regs, I just want to send a shout out to the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast for the retweet. Shouts to True God for the retweet. Peace to Black Wrestling. I was tapped into their show before we got on the air. Peace to
Good
peace,
God.
peace, 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 peace. But man, peace to the gods, of course, peace to the earths. You
Salute to all
tuned
them.
in. Yeah, you tuned in to my favorite pro wrestling podcast and definitely soon to be yours. The Ringside Club, man, the RSC, the mightiest of the mighty, triple
Yeah.
threatening it out, triading it out this week. Peace to
Every
Bug once
Thursday.
again on assignment. Every Thursday, 9:05 live or approximately sometime in that proximity. You know how we do. But yeah, man, I'm tapped in. I'm from parts unknown this week. I mean, I'm outside. I'm outside.
Yeah,
My man
definitely
Raven
is.
this week.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely see
Hey,
some new
yo,
scenery
nevermore.
behind you.
Nevermore. But always come correct. See that Ringside Club hoodie in the background right there. You know what time it is. Before we get the predictions, this is like prediction part 2 and 3, I guess. Back-to-back episodes of predictions. But before we get into the predictions, I want to let everybody that's tapped into the podcast know for sure. For starters, you can check everything at theringsideclub.com. That's the URL, the website that's in the middle of our screen right now. All of the past episodes are right there. You can subscribe on YouTube as the video, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. That's the audio right now. We're on air on YouTube and Twitter as well. But yeah, man, tap in with us. I happen to go by 2 letters. My name is A.O., former defending champ, 2-time champ, but I'm going to try and get that thing back. We'll see what the predictions is hitting for this episode, but I'm going to pass it to my mans in there. Scott, right?
What's good, people? You already know what it is. Round and Don. Catch me at Round Don PMF on all streaming platforms. You see the hoodie that the man is holding up right now. You see him rocking the shirt. Just
Yo, we got a
wrestle.
sale right now, by the way.
That's what
I
I
don't
was
mean to
just
cut you
about
off,
to
but we got a
say.
sale right now, by the way. You hit that Labor Day sale, part of myfresh.com, get all your Ringside Club merch. You can get, I mean, it's about to be autumn, so you should probably get yourself a hoodie. Get that PMF. I might throw something new coming up, fall time. We'll see what's happening. But hit that joint up, 10% off. Feel me?
Yes,
Hard.
sir.
You got it
And you
right.
can get something like this that I'm wearing right now for 10% off. Get that hoodie for 10% off. Get some coffee for 10% off. Get everything for 10%
Yeah, heard.
off until
Yeah,
what
get you a little
after.
hat as well, man.
Yep, get you a little hat. Winter is coming. Yo, shit, get you a fitted hat. Get you a winter hat. Cop, whatever, man. 10% off. Let me pass it over to my man, the young Godiva. What's goody?
Peace to the gods. It's young Godiva himself, CHADLAW. I'm here right now, man. Raining. Maybe when I feel like defending, I might pull a Roman this weekend and just let y'all just duke it out in an eliminator. You know what I'm saying? Have an eliminator match to determine who's gonna get me at the next pay per view next month. You know what I'm saying? Who knows, man? I'm over here winning the pay per view predictions. It's the kid. I'm feeling good. I don't even know how many reigns I had at this point. I can't even count. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Don't
feeling
even
probably
matter.
like don't even matter. I'm like a multi-time. You got to say multi-time
Let's
reigning. You know what
let's
I'm
say
saying?
5 times. You probably around like 5 or 6, I say.
I'm hoping to not have
That
a
sounds about
Randy
right.
Orton, the Miz level reign this week. You know what I'm saying? Man, trying to just make sure I had his belt for a little while. I got to bring them. I don't know where my belt is at, actually. I got to bring that. Shit, I haven't had the championship in so long. I had to put it away. Fucking forgot it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, I realize you. I ain't see you with the
Yeah,
belt in a minute.
I ain't had the belt in a minute. You know what I mean? I had to put it away. I was like, shit. I actually forgot where it is. Yeah. Put it, you know what I mean? For the
Yeah,
aesthetic purposes, but I'm gonna bring it back
right.
though. You know what I'm saying?
You've been a busy guy though, so it's like
Yo,
I just
man,
had the belt chilling. You know what I'm saying, keeping it safe. You know what
keeping
I'm
it safe, keeping it safe,
Call
King. I
this
told
man the interstate champion right now, no?
saying.
man, state to state, running the roads like my nigga Push would. Yeah,
95 live.
man. Let's get it.
Word up. So yeah, let's get right to it. We have two PLE/PPVs coming up this weekend. We have WWE with Payback on Saturday, and we have AEW with All Out on Sunday. That's Chicago, Illinois, and Payback is in Pittsburgh. Peace to everybody out there in PA, man. Shout out to Pennsylvania. I gotta,
Steel City, baby. Steel
yeah,
City.
yeah, yeah.
Up
So we
PA.
have 6 matches on the card for WWE Payback. So I have the card pulled up. Once again, Book has not made his picks, so we'll hit him up in the chat and make sure that he's properly calculated and factored in. But
Mm-hmm.
if all goes my way, it won't matter. So let's pull it right up. We got WWE Payback once again, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a Saturday pre-show 7, main card at 8. 6 matches on the docket so far. So let's start from the bottom. We got the Steel City Street Fight for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the reigning champs, are defending against the Judgment Day, represented by Finn Balor and Damian Priest. You know what? I know I put Judgment Day as my pick, but I'm swapping that out. I'm swapping it to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because I think
Okay.
we've all seen the dissension between the Judgment Day, specifically Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I see no reason why they need to capture the belt and do another can they coexist type of storyline. Wouldn't make any sense right now. So I'm swapping it out. I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn
I
retain.
I just changed. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just changed it for you
Thank you,
in
sir.
the notes. I'm actually going the same way, and I'm thinking I'm going for the same reason. They're going to retain, and then you see that the Judgment Day, they've been going through it. They've been having little tiffs and whatnot. The last from Raw, from what I remember, Ripley like gave him like an ultimatum. It's like, listen, if y'all ain't straighten up, if y'all ain't get stuff right, then some things are going to happen at Payback. So I think this is where you're going to see more dissension in the Judgment Day. And people, I think a lot of people were saying, "Oh, who's gonna leave first? Is it Damien or or
Well,
Finn?"
Finn.
And you have your man what's his name? McDonough. Finally starting to see him on TV and starting to do more things with them and starting to interfere more with them. So I see like Finn and him about to do something if Finn is the one to leave. And I feel like Finn is the one that's going to leave. He don't want to deal with this anymore. So yeah,
Word.
Zane Owens. What you got, Chad?
Champ.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough, man. It's like
You can make an argument either way. I just don't think that it's time. I don't think it's going to be time yet for Owens and Zayn. You can make an argument either way.
it just makes perfect sense for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to win. It's very predictable. Like, it's tough. I just feel like Judgment Day is the focal point of Raw. And
Yeah.
they need some more oomph other than like, can they coexist and still lose at the same time? Like, they're losing.
Exactly.
Why do we
Yeah.
care about them even getting along at this point? Because all they do is lose. Finn Balor he just lost to LA Knight. We love LA Knight, but Finn just lost to LA Knight. So it's like, you know what I mean? They gotta make something happen. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn winning is very unforgettable of a moment. But injuries, it's a lack of direction with the whole title run. A loss kind of just gives them more oomph. You know what I'm saying? More shit to do. And Judgment Day needs a boost. So I'm gonna just say Judgment Day wins.
All right.
Because as of now, there are no title changes. We'll go through the rest of the card, but do we really think any other title is going to change hands that matters outside of the U.S. title and make a big for this house show pay-per-view? You know what I mean? So I'm thinking it's Judgment Day. I'm going to take Judgment Day for this.
All right. I got you.
All right.
I put that in for you.
Judgment Day. Speaking of the U.S. Championship, we have the current champ, Rey Mysterio, defending against the former champ, Austin Theory. I think Austin gets it back.
You think
I think
so?
Austin Theory gets that title back.
I think
Right.
Rey Mysterio retains. Listen, I really don't. I kind of almost flipped a coin with this, but I feel like they're gonna give Ray another maybe shit. I'm thinking about it now. He may or may not lose it on a Raw. Well, because he's on Raw, right? Well, I think he's on SmackDown. I don't even
He's
remember.
on SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown, so I feel like
Yeah.
So I feel like he's gonna pick up this win, and he's probably gonna lose it on a SmackDown before the next pay per view, and I think
Superstar shakedown.
and I
Yeah.
think his homie is gonna might cost him the title, as you see, like because he kind of took his place in in that match to win to win the title. What's his name?
Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Escobar.
Yeah, Escobar. Yeah, because you see,
Let's
he took
go.
his,
Let's go. Let's
so
go.
something tells me, there's gonna be some complication. There's gonna be some tips. Just something's gonna happen. I think Escobar may or may not cost him the title on a random SmackDown, possibly. So we'll see.
Yo, if Tony Khan had the book, Santos would be coming out to hate me now. Escobar season is return, full blown hell. He's dropping the bag on some Nas music.
Oh, I would love that.
Vince got the bag too, but whatever. Chad, what you got?
Rey Mysterio retains. Fresh matchups. It's necessary for SmackDown. Theory was the U.S. champion for the vast part of the last year, and nothing memorable came of it other than getting disintegrated by John Cena in the ring and on a promo. So Theory needs to stay the far fuck away from the U.S. title scene. Please give us something fresh. Give Ray a clean, happy win. Don't turn Santos. Don't ruin the LWO yet. There's still life in that story. We still got to get the Survivor Series. Like, we still got to get over there. Like, the last thing I want to see is Ray fighting by himself against not only Dominic in Judgment Day, but like now Santos and Joaquin and the other dude. So it's like people love Zelina. I don't think she needs to be put in the B-Fab role and turn LWO into Hit Row. Like, I think there's just more longevity there. So I just think Ray wins overall.
Got Rey Mysterio. All right. Singles
Rey
match,
Mysterio Jr.
Women's World Championship. We have Rhea Ripley defending against Raquel Rodriguez. I have Mommy retaining. Raquel cannot smile her way out of this one. Ron, who you got?
I got Rhea Ripley. Um, I just thought about this. I feel like on the dissension of the Judgment Day, I feel like she's gonna be the last one to lose the title because she's the one that's been trying to hold everything together, and then finally just falls apart. So I got Rhea, and then I finally get to see this is the Raquel Rodriguez I want to see for a hot minute. Like no smiles, just kicking ass, doing what she need to do, just attacking. So I've and there's a possibility that Rodriguez is probably going to be the one to win the title later on the Judgment Day dissension when Rhea's like, all right, it's not going to happen anymore. So yeah.
Has anyone had an easier, most unnoticeable reign like for this long, like for the women's championship, like Rhea? Like she's had the belt since Mania, and it's almost like kind of parallel to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, where it's like, man, they really skated by with time with those things, huh? Like shit. Like,
Because Rhea spends more time dealing with Judgment Day business than she does actually defending the title.
and when
So
she
The
she,
does,
only
it's
the
just
only the only
beating
reigns
women
that
up.
actually yeah, exactly. Yeah, she so to answer your question, she's low.
You know what I mean? Like she's definitely getting the Roman treatment, rightfully so. She's deserved it. She's been putting in the time and pain. So I see her going to WrestleMania, 40 with the belt. You know what I mean? I don't see that coming off her anytime soon. And definitely ain't to smiley face Rodriguez. One Riptide, 1, 2, 3, on to the next match.
so you got Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Rhea.
Yes. So,
That's across the board. All right, we got the Miz
gotcha.
versus LA Knight. Yeah. With
Yeah.
everybody saying LA Knight, period. He's not losing anything of any real substance anytime soon. I think like the thing with LA Knight was we were trying to get to the place of, does WWE really realize what they have? Are they actually trying to capture lightning in a bottle, or are they going to miss the boat on this one? And it seems that they finally, whether it was the plan all along or they just finally realized what they had. Once he won that battle royal, that was designed to give him something to like, all right, kind of a little nod of confidence, make sure that the fans understand that we're behind this guy. And The Miz is a perfect feud for him because The Miz is one of those guys who's going to do what the company needs him to do. And never, he can take a million L's from now until he decides that I'm hanging the boots up and it doesn't hurt him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, LA Knight for the W, for sure. Continue that momentum, continue that build. You know how you build momentum? You make people win. You know why? Because wins and losses actually matter.
Yo, man. Nothing kills a guy's whole establishment like just losing to someone who is never winning. And it's like, well, see you at All Elite, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, LA Knight.
LA Knight. At first I had the Miz, but I changed my pick. I am going with LA Knight now. I think the East is now
Why would you
starting
go
to.
with the Miz?
I was gonna go with the Miz with a roll up, like with a roll up pin.
Something cheap, pull it tight or something like that.
Rare, something like that. Like it ain't gonna be like a clean finish. It's gonna be like a roll up win. And I
That's my
thought
gripe.
they were gonna keep like LA Knight fighting or whatever. But you know what?
That's my gripe with the thought of the Miz winning. Because it's like, even if you extend the feud, you don't need to have it come at the expense of LA Knight losing. Like,
Yeah,
not right now, yo. He just won a SummerSlam Battle Royal,
Right.
and that's barely bringing enough confidence along the ride for this fucking feud. So it's like,
yeah,
And that's the thing with a properly built heel is they can. I think honestly anybody can afford to take an L if you have a legitimate reason for it, right? And with a heel, a properly built heel, the Miz can afford to take an L, and all he has to do to get his heat back is like attack him after the match. You know what I mean? Or snap on the referee, or beat somebody else up, and LA Knight comes back down to do what the good guy should do and avenge. You know what I mean? Like, so there's ways around
yeah.
it. Like, There's
Yeah,
different things you can do to extend it without having a cheap roll up win. You know.
right. And that's why I changed my pick to LA Knight because I realized Miz is he's not gonna hurt from taking this L. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And WWE sees that okay, this LA Knight, he's got some right there. He's super over with the crowd. Yeah, it's time to give him the win. And then you just remind me that he did win that battle royal. So just keep the ascension going.
Yeah. Keep
You
that
know.
momentum, man.
L.A. Knight. Yeah.
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 On to the next.
On to the next. We
On
have
to the
two
next.
matches left before we swing it on over to AEW All Out. We have the steel cage match. Finally, Becky Lynch versus Stratus. Pardon me. I'm going with Becky. I think if we're doing steel cage matches with traditional thinking behind a steel cage match, as far as that being the end to a feud, obviously Becky comes out on top here. You know, I don't think this
Mm,
gets extended beyond this steel cage match. And if it does, I don't see what they do, you know, other
right.
than a steel cage match, a Hell in a Cell, something like that. So I think Becky takes the win. I think Becky takes the feud.
Yep. I'm going to say the same thing. I got Becky. It was a cool feud. Um, what was most impressive about this feud was the way Trish Stratus can still go pretty well. Being damn, I think she's pushing 50 maybe, and she still in solid
You
condition.
got to
So
remember, she took almost like 20 years off. So it's like,
yeah,
you know,
okay, and that fact too, and for her to come back
I,
like
I
that,
still remember that shit. I'm like, damn, she has been away for like damn near 20
it's
years.
it's,
So it's
it's
like,
been a while. Yeah,
been a while. She's still
right.
she's still kind of young in wrestling years at this point. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So
um what's her face, yeah, and like A said, like I really don't see them doing anything else after that, so I think it's time for this to come to a close because when did Trish Stratus come back at like it was like sometime before WrestleMania if I'm correct, right? Something like that.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's been a while, and I'm not saying she can't go, but I can't think of anything else that they can do unless Lita comes back or something, and I don't really see that. So yeah, I got Becky Lynch, man.
on the contrary, I say Lita does come back and helps Becky win. She'll even up the
Ah,
odds of all the chaos because there's got to be a Lita cameo because Lita is also the fucking reason for this whole feud. Like, how lest we forget about this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm-hmm.
they were partners. She turned on her, and then Lita got the fuck out of here. So it's like, all right, well, you're gonna have to make an appearance at some point to justify this whole like disappearing thing. Like, you didn't get injured, put in a coma, knocked out, anything crazy. You just like left. You know what I'm saying? So the Grand Leader returned to play the music and pop the crowd and really save Becky when it's in crunch time. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to play out to a tag team feud because that's what's next to elevate this feud. So even if Trish wins, then we're going to get a tag team feud and then one more blow off match. But I think we're going to get Becky winning and then we get a tag team feud next. So that's where I'm
It's
going.
fair.
I can see that.
Chance
It's
So
feud.
fair.
so you got Becky.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Because really, where do they go after this match?
I can't think.
They need each
I
other
can't
right now.
think where.
They need each other right now. So they're going to be here for a little while. You got to extend this feud, unfortunately.
We'll see. We'll see. Fair point. All right, we have one more match on the Payback card. I do want to remind the defending champ that there is a need for some 5 point questions here. So
Don't worry, I got 15 ready. You know what I'm saying? 15
hey,
in
there
the
you
clip.
go.
We can kill it.
There you go. All right, so we have what is presumed to be the main event. We have the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. And as much as I would love Shinsuke to finally get a world title reign, he was NXT champ. Never really happened for him on the SmackDown or Raw rosters. This is also not going to happen for him here. Seth Rollins is going to retain. Seth is not losing his title anytime soon. I, somebody thought that he was going to lose. Who was the last feud that he had before Shinsuke? The last pay per view.
Carrying Cross, I think, or something. I don't know. Gunther,
Not pay per
somebody.
view
No,
match.
That's what I'm
Not
saying.
Shinsuke.
Like
I'm
I'm
talking
just
about.
I'm just I'm just throwing names out here that sound
Yeah.
like he could have had a match them on a pay per view because that's the only time he gets used is to
wasn't
put
it?
someone over.
No,
Someone that need to get put over. Gunther.
no, it wasn't Gunther. It was
Nah, not. I'm talking about Seth. Who was Seth's last PLE defense?
Finn Balor. He beat Finn Balor the whole summer.
Finn. Yeah, I remember there was like conversation because there was some people that actually thought that Finn Balor would finally get his run because it's been
I thought
X
he
amount
would
of
too.
years, right? And there's a lot of chit chat the same way about Shinsuke. He might finally get the run. No and no, it's not happening.
Come on, man. Defend your fellow Japanese brother, man.
Hey, I told you I would love to see it, but I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And again, like I like what they're doing though. Like I really appreciate. It's almost like what Don Callis is doing a little bit with Takeshita and Omega. How Nakamura knows what shape Seth Rollins' back is in. You know what I mean? I know about the discs and the vertebrae and whatever. So I'm telling you exactly what I'm gonna hone in on. You know what I mean? So I kind of appreciate that because
We
whether
don't
his
speak
back
the
is
same language, but the language I do understand is pain.
hello. This is the best that Shinsuke's looked in a while.
Yeah.
You know, this
I
is
like
definitely the best that he's looked in a while. Because, like, I remember the last time that he was a contender for a world title was against AJ Styles, and that was, you know, a kind of a lackluster WrestleMania match and then a low blow, and then it still kind of went,
Yeah.
you know, left after that. And I think that has more to do with WWE's like match
That
production
was
more
Vince
so.
McMahon still at the helm at that time. Because if this was Triple H at the helm, that match would have definitely flowed a little bit better. I think things would have turned out better.
Yeah, no, because I like WWE also just has their way and their speed of producing a match. You know what I mean? Like aside from like the camera production, the technical production, just the way that they lay matches out. I think like a lot of what the speed that really translates well to what people like in a work rate match or what you see on the indies or a Japanese match just doesn't get produced the same way in WWE. But anyway, I digress. End of the day, it's going to be a good match. Seth versus Nakamura. I like the battle of the entrances, period. You know what I mean? I think these are two of the best entrances in WWE. And Seth retains. I don't think Seth loses until Gunther takes the title off of him, but you heard it from me. We'll get back to that another time.
Great.
I also have Seth Rollins, and I also like what they're doing with Shinsuke. They're making him more legitimate, more lethal. And him targeting, you know, the back of Seth Rollins, trying to get his weak points, you know. So for Seth to win this is going to make him more legitimate after beating Finn Balor, because you know of that whole feud of Finn Balor, of Seth breaking his arm, like what was it, 7 years ago, something like that. So I think this is going to be another legitimate win for Seth Rollins. And there you go, yeah, Seth Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. It's not the time to take the belt off him yet because it's like, what do you do? Have him just chase again? Because really, there's only so much Seth can do when he's on the opposite side because he spent the last like 5 years being on the opposite side since the last time he was the heavyweight champion, essentially. So it's his time to stay the champ. Shinsuke could do a great job being the heel champion. I love that unexpected feel. I think that's missing from WWE as far as a world title match, that unexpected win. We hated Jinder Mahal when he beat Randy Orton for the WWE title, but it was unexpected, and it was like, this is fucking different. But we'll ride this thing out and see how this works. Didn't really work too well, but we tried though. Shinsuke as the champion, I actually think that would be really dope to see because I think that would bring a lot more of the Japanese eyes and that side of the world over to see them being represented as a world heavyweight champion in the WWE. I think that is something that would be smart to see. And at a B-level pay-per-view like this would be the time to get it off for Shinsuke Nakamura to actually beat Seth Rollins in a moment where the crowd is like, we can't believe this shit. Shinsuke actually came through, fucked Seth up for mad weeks, and then actually won the title. Like, maybe Seth's back really is fucked up right now. And, oh, shit. Now, that would be enticing. But with the Judgment Day running all of Raw, we don't have the room for two heel dominating, confusing situations, apparently, with 3 hours to fill. So Seth retains, you know what I'm saying? And Shinsuke is probably going to tag team with Seth 2 months from now. Like, this never even happened. Yeah. Like, this never even happened.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
oh my bad, I was bugging.
yeah. It seems like a
nah,
WWE.
somebody's gonna jump Seth, and Nakamura's gonna make the save
Yeah, it seems like
in
the
the
most.
second hour of a random Monday Night Raw in December.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Seems like
saying.
seems like the most WWE thing.
Yeah, that's
That
how,
is
you know
it.
how it
Yeah.
go. You know how
So
it
my
goes.
5 pointers. I got 3 5 pointers for y'all.
All for
Uh,
payback.
oh yeah, for payback. Either just for
Okay.
payback.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Question one: what match opens the pay-per-view?
Oh man, opens the
All
pay
right.
per
Let me look
view.
back at the card. I'll run it down real quick so it's fresh in everybody's minds. We have the tag team match: Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. U.S. title match: Rey Mysterio against Austin Theory. Women's World Championship: Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. We have The Miz versus LA Knight. Steel Cage: Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. And the World Heavyweight Championship: Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What opens the show? I
Tough,
am going to go with.
tough 5 pointer right here.
This is a toss up between two matches that I'm looking at. I'm going to go with the United States Championship: Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory.
Feel good win.
I'm over here. I'm looking at the card to see. You know what?
There's another really, really strong possibility in my mind, but
Not that one.
word.
Nah. You know, I might rock with the same. I might do the same
Going with the
thing.
same?
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with the same thing. So I'm gonna put that in.
I'm going with the World Heavyweight title. Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura. They're getting that the fuck out of here. First match.
Okay. I'm going to swap mine. I'm going with Miz and LA Knight.
I was
Opening.
really feeling like that could be the one because they
Miz
really
and
want to
LA
pop the
Knight.
crowd and have
Yeah.
LA. Like once LA Knight gets on, it's gonna be a tough act to follow with the crowd. So that's why I didn't want to put him first because I'm like, it's a good feel good, but it's also like you want to save that type of energy because nigga, ain't
Yeah.
nobody gonna match
The
that shit.
only reason I changed it, and it was I was considering that either way, but the only reason I changed it is because my pick for the U.S. title match, I picked Austin Theory to actually win that. So if that opens and Austin is the first win, I think that's a real weird vibe to start out with. So just being consistent with my pick, I'm gonna go with LA Knight versus The Miz.
Nah, niggas is gonna be in the chat like, yeah, this pay per view definitely sucks already. Like, holy shit, Theory is the champion again. Damn.
Yo, when you
Yo,
start your
word.
pay per view with an Austin Theory championship victory, it's rough times, rough waters ahead.
Yo, that's a
It's hard
fact.
time.
Hard
Hard
times.
time.
Second question.
Second question.
Well, did you give your answer for the oh yeah, you said
Yeah,
the world
the
championship.
world
He went with
title.
the
The
world
world
Gotcha,
title.
championship.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha.
World title. It's tough. It's tough with these questions, dude. All right. Before I know my surefire, I'm gonna mix the question two. Do we get an appearance from Cody Rhodes and someone from the bloodline?
Does it have
Loaded
to be
five.
both?
Has to be both. Yes or no. Or
Just
So
yes
it's
and
basically a
no.
yes or
Yes,
no.
yes and no. Like yes to Cody, no to Cody, no to Judgment Day, no to Bloodline, no to Cody.
just like an appearance in general, or
Yes, like interviews, like they have to physically be there.
All right, no,
It's a yes and yes. It's a yes and yes or a no and no. Or a yes
no,
and no and yes and no. No
yeah,
across the
flat
board.
no, flat
Flat
no.
no, no Cody, no Judge. No, keep saying Judgment. No Bloodline.
No bloodline, no Cody.
I'm gonna say yes on Cody and no on the bloodline.
I'm gonna say yes and yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
So
yes and
yeah,
yes. We get an appearance from everybody. Not everybody, but someone from the group will make a cameo appearance.
and
And
that's
as will Cody.
and this is just one question. This is just
That's one question. That's
one
one
question.
question. That's
So
one loaded 5 pointer.
so you get an appearance from. My bad. I'm just trying to write it
Because they're
down.
the only ones that ain't on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, let's
I
go
wouldn't
for
want
it.
to leave the other out. So
Especially Cody.
right. You know what I'm saying? He could actually make an appearance. You know what I'm saying? AO gives it a stern no. You know what I mean? He's like, keep this nigga off the whole card.
Nah, not even. I just don't think it's happening.
All right. Left him off on purpose. All right. Fair.
There's no better way to keep somebody fresh. Why force an appearance when you don't need an appearance to keep this guy hot? It's better to keep him off.
Damn, I might lose my own 5-pointer. Fuck.
Yeah. Next question.
All right. All right. What's the main event?
World title.
Man, you giving stock to the world title. Shit. Man, so it's
World
going to main event. The world title is going to main event a B-level pay-per-view. That sounds so right, but it sounds so far-fetched at the same time.
Because the world title is a B-level world title. That's what they brought it back for. So the
That's
world
why I
title
say
main
it's
event.
opening the show.
Damn,
This would open the show if there was a universal title match on the card. But
Fair. That's fair. If Roman was on the card, this is definitely getting the fuck out of here, match 1. That's for sure.
this might even be the 5th match if Roman was on
Nah.
the card. This is the 5th match, bro.
Nah,
Yo, you trying
slide
to
this after the tag team title match before the women's match is crazy. What
Yo, you trying
respect for that belt?
Try to get some pretzels and Pepsi? This is the match to do.
That's
Nah, I'm going
fun.
world title match.
I'm actually going I'm going to tag titles. Actually,
Fair. I can see that being the case too.
Yeah,
Like that has
because-
way more juice.
yeah, because
You know what I'm
everything is revolving around Judgment Day right now.
The
So
whole show.
that's where you're gonna see if there's gonna be a fall off. That's when you're gonna see the descent of the Judgment Day. Right there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the tag title match. That's the main event.
I would want to agree with Ron, but I feel like because there's actually 2 women's matches on the card, the cage match is main eventing this pay-per-view because it's Trish Stratus, it's Becky Lynch, it's a steel cage, it's really the only other gimmick besides the street fight. That's why I would give it to the street fight, but I think the women, considering that Rhea is there, it's going to main event the pay-per-view. I'd be remiss if this shit even opened the pay-per-view. I'd be like, wow, what the?
I was thinking
Damn.
that too,
But I think it's going to main event. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Seth before, which is funny.
That's the popcorn and Pepsi match.
Yeah, Seth and Shinsuke before, and then Becky after, just so everyone would be like, oh, at least a couple gets to go on, right before.
Yeah. Nah, that's solid. That's a good point. Like a steel cage match in historically
feuding.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes a steel cage match takes a little bit more precedence over a world title match. So that I could see that. I could see that. I'm still sticking with my picks, but
all right,
I can see that.
Honestly, if they don't even give that, like, I'd be very surprised if they gave you that pick. But I also would be like, if they didn't, I'd be like, yeah, that title is done. Like, I'm still gonna support it. You know what I'm saying? But like, as far as like, yo, this is the main event. It's like, nigga, this is the mid card match. The mid card world. Like, if Gunther, the Intercontinental title, is gonna main event a show before the Seth Rollins world title, come on, man.
Seth got it.
Chad,
All right.
Chad, quick question. What was your response for the Cody and Bloodline response? You said
yes and yes.
Yes and yes. Gotcha.
Cody and Paul Heyman will make an appearance.
Cody and Paul Heyman. Okay. Damn, that Paul Heyman is a cheat code, but that's a technicality. But you're right.
Hey man, anybody from the Bloodline.
But you're right. Special counsel.
All right, I got
Special counsel.
Falling dangerously in the building.
He gonna say something just to at least be on camera with, you know what I'm saying? Kayla, just to say some shit like, hey, I'm on the phone with Roman as he's watching the pay-per-view scouting talent.
Damn, you're right.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Fuck.
I didn't want to I was waiting until the night of the show to see if it happened to even drop it in the chat. But we here now.
Because you said just an appearance, so he
was the reason for this question. I was like, an appearance. Damn. But I didn't want to leave Cody off. So that's why, I say yes and yes to both parts of that question.
Yeah, you're Cody. Right. I see the vision for Paul. I still don't think Cody shows up just because I think like this. Anyway, word up.
Cody and Grayson Waller. I called it. Next one. We're at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yo, I mean, we got All Out coming up on Sunday. That was the Payback. Grayson Waller's trash.
He's here to stay, man.
All Out.
He's here to
match.
stay.
All right, we have 9
Go ahead.
matches as per Wikipedia.
Oh man.
Grayson Waller is terrible. I don't get it. I'm just
It's
not
the
entertained.
accent, it's the
I
charisma.
I
You know what I'm saying? He's a heel.
I'm
he's
not
Being a heel.
entertained, bro.
I put him in the same category as uh Liv Morgan, where I feel like they're not terrible, but it's like you weren't ready to come on the main roster this year. That's how I look at it. He's not terrible, but just the way they've been booking him right now is like, all right, I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But hey, your
He's a
opinion.
Grayson Waller. All right, AEW All Out is on Sunday. As I mentioned before, we have 9 matches listed on the Wikipedia page. So let's run them down in the order. First and foremost, we have the TNT Championship match. Luchasaurus, Christian Cage will definitely be carrying the title, and Darby Allin is the challenger. Going Darby Allin. Like, I don't think Luchasaurus was ever supposed to be or ever booked to be a long-term champ. Plus, this is really all about Christian. That's the real feud, and the fact that they did these 2 matches in the order that they did them in, I think Christian can still feud with Darby Allin, regardless if Darby Allin wins or loses this match. So, I think Darby. You know, this is kind of like one of his signature. This is like a signature championship for Darby Allin at this point. You know what I mean? Like, Cody had the title a bunch. He introduced it. We saw Sammy Guevara, hang around at the division for a bit. But since Darby Allin has won that title, this has been something that he's been pretty synonymous with. He's always been close to it. Even when he was in the world title picture, nobody thought that he was going to win that. So yeah, Darby Allin wins this. I think Christian and Darby probably have something going forward in some way, shape, or form. But Darby.
Got Darby Allin. I was thinking Darby Allin, but I think I may go. Shit. I I think I'm gonna go.
Luchasaurus?
I think I'm gonna go Luchasaurus. I I tweeted this before. I was like, yo, Luchasaurus is gonna realize he ain't gonna dinosaur and he's gonna beat the brakes off Christian Cage because it's like, fam, you're not gonna keep holding this belt that I won. And I feel like they're gonna continue with that until that happens. Not the dinosaur thing, but it's like I think Luchasaurus is gonna get to a point where it's like, all right, buddy, like I got a mind of my own. Like you ain't running me. Like, like you probably gonna make me cost the title. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna leave this guy. So I think I'm gonna go with Luchasaurus. You said Darby.
For rare times, Ron and I agree on a prediction. I'm going with Luchasaurus. This is a pretty temperament feud, especially considering it was built up 2 months ago, damn near. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's finally just coming to a head. Darby won it all in. If he wins again, he's just going to do what he did with other previous TNT title reigns, which is just have an Orange Cassidy style of run without the Orange Cassidy extensive run and then lose to somebody else. So better off keeping it on Luchasaurus. Christian's going to help him. There's more to go with Luchasaurus and Christian having the TNT title right now. Even Christian having the TNT title adds legitimacy to what's going on, that belt in general. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to playing hot potato. Because that belt needs resuscitation. Wardlow and his stench of wins has put a funny feeling, you know what I'm saying, of babyfaces having that title right now. So it's like, unfortunately, we'll probably end up getting another Wardlow match out of him and Luchasaurus, I feel like, at some point. But for now, Luchasaurus retains against Darby Allin.
There you go. And I got
Word
you,
up.
man.
All right, next match we have one that I'm looking forward to. Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. The Redeemer versus the guy seeking redemption. I'm going with Miro. I think this is going to be just a straight up brawl. I don't see this going any more than 8 minutes because they're throwing bombs. You know what I mean? And I think Miro definitely takes the win. Because I see like Miro. I don't know what you necessarily do with Miro moving forward. If this is like a rematch type of feud or this is like a one-off. But with Powerhouse Hobbs, this is continuing the path of him finally getting rid of the whole QTV crew in some way, shape, or form. I think they interfere, or maybe they do something that they're supposed to, try to help Powerhouse Hobbs, and it kind of goes awry. Whatever kind of way. I think this leads to him finally getting rid of QTV. But either way, whether it's a straight up win or an interference type of win, Miro takes a W, and Powerhouse Hobbs is fine.
I'm going with Miro. I couldn't even honestly. It took me a while to figure out who's gonna win. I felt like Powerhouse needs to win more. Um, but Miro, he just came back from. I think was he injured or was he just away? Because I don't
He was
remember.
just out.
He was
He
just
was
out.
just out. It was
We
one of
was chilling,
those.
paid vacation,
Paid
UTO.
vacation.
Miro and Creative didn't agree on the direction, so there was no Miro on TV.
And that's kind of the thing now. You see what he's doing, but like you said, I don't see a direction as yet. I'm hoping you'll see something after this. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna rock with Miro, and I'm gonna see what's gonna happen after All Out. And it seems like he's just gonna be on Collision exclusively because I haven't seen him anywhere else. So yeah, I'm going with Miro.
What a cold feud. What a cold match. This is just like slap these two niggas together and just fill up time. Because we've got to give Hobbs something to do, right? We've got to give Miro something to do, right? We took him time off for creative so he can just have this to come back to, right? What happened to Will Hobbs? Where'd Will Hobbs go? Oh, he's got something to do. Don't worry, he's good. Don't worry. He's in good hands. You know what's going to happen? The godly redeemers are going to be born out of this. Yes, Ringside Club. Y'all have heard this from the predictions champion himself. The godly redeemers will be the AEW tag team champions in the next 6 months. That's what's going to happen out of this whole feud. Because really, you both said there's no direction for either of them. And in Tony Khan world, put them together and make a tag team run. That's what's going to happen. Miro wins tag title 6 months from now.
Nah, I disagree, right? Because for one,
They'll be tag teaming together in 6 months or less.
I don't disagree. That could possibly be the case.
QT. Miro's going to help get rid of the QT crew.
That very well may be the case. They could definitely tag together. Where I disagree, for one, I disagree that the feud is cold. And for two, I disagree that Powerhouse Hobbs is directionalist. The direction and the whole reason of this.
He's got a book. He's got direction. He can read from the book. This is his direction.
Nah.
The directions are in the book.
The direction starts back when Hobbs and Wardlow were in their feud, and Booking and Tony erroneously booked him to join up with QTV. That was stupid. Never should have happened in the first place. But from that point on, everybody has been clamoring for Powerhouse Hobbs to finally get rid of QTV, and that's why he's on his redemption tour right now. So it makes all the sense in the world for the guy seeking redemption to face the Redeemer
from the guy who can do all the help, who can help him out.
And on top of that, Miro in last week's episode of Collision has the line of the year as far as promos are concerned. Where he says something to the effect of, you're godless, but pray to God, because you pray to me now or something like that. I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember it off top, but I tweeted it out when I heard it. Line of the year. You can't have a promo that's the line of the year and say that this is a cold feud. Plus, they had a nice little interaction with each other when they finally got out and they brawled a little bit outside, in the ring rather. Like there are feuds that are way colder than this. You know what I mean? This is not cold. I'm not saying it's the hottest in the world, but this is big meaty men slapping meat.com. You feel me? Like this is good money. And it's gonna lead to Powerhouse Hobbs getting rid of QTV, which I'm here for.
With the help of Miro to start the Godly Redeemers. Tag team on the way.
You may not be wrong about that. I'm not we agree on that part.
That'll make me be like, I got faith now. I got faith in Hobbs and what's going to happen here because him and Miro together as a team could do some damage.
Now, what I will say, And what frightens me about this is, as per traditional AEW booking, shall we say, from time to time, very often, we have a feud, a good match, and somebody wins and somebody loses. And sometimes the person that wins we don't see for a little bit, and sometimes the person that loses we don't see for a little bit. What frightens me is I think Miro wins, and I think Powerhouse Hobbs loses, and I could see both of these guys going away for an extended period of time just because we're not sure what we're going to do. And that's the problem. We have Grand Slam as the next big show coming up, and then I think what is it? I was about to say Payback. What's the next AEW show? The Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, wrestling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this show is coming up, and I could see very clearly that there may not be space for Miro or Hobbs on either of those shows. You know what I mean? So that's what frightens me. But we'll see. Time will tell, but we'll see.
I'm right
Let's
there
move
with
on.
you.
Chris Statlander defends the AEW TBS Championship against Ruby Soho. Perennial loser Ruby Soho. Chris Statlander defends successfully. Ron.
Before I answer that, chat, who was your between Miro and Powerhouse? Miro, gotcha.
Miro.
And I got Chris Statlander.
Ella.
I don't see them taking the belt off of her right now. Not the most memorable run, but she's had some solid competitors from since when she came back, and I feel like they're still gonna keep pushing her.
Hey, fellas, you know what happens with this women's division. Somebody has the title, and then we get in there and say, hey, the rain is cold. We got to put the belt on such and such. And then they put the belt on such and such. And then we get on here, hey, the rain is cold. We got to put the belt on such and such. And then they put the belt on. Cyclical. There's nothing hot. There's nothing really, really hot right now outside of Tony Storm, in my opinion, in the women's division right now.
Huge. But
yeah,
to your point, I actually wouldn't take the belt off Chris Statlander. I would just make her do
Neither
more real shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying neither would I. I think Chris Statlander is a dope champion.
I don't think she's a dope champion. I think the whole women's division is sour cream bland. But
when I say dope champion, I mean like her with the belt doing champion, making championship moves. I think she's dope. I just don't think there's enough actual moves being made. But when she's on TV, I think she has a presence about her that I don't think a Ruby Soho, for instance, necessarily has.
Ruby's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. It's really interesting to see, like, she has such big opportunities, but she never really pulls off the big one. You know what I'm saying? All of her peers around her seem to pull off the big one. So I feel like Ruby is going to fall into that natty, Tamina role, which is kind of wild. But if there was a time for the title to switch, it wouldn't be now. But it can happen. I can see Ruby winning this belt eventually, but not right now per se, because Chris needs victory. She needs something to do. And just like AO said, we don't want to keep playing hot potato. Although Ruby and Soraya having the women's belts does create a dope optic. I can't lie. And it adds to Tony Storm freaking out. And in a division that's pretty shitty right now, that optic looks pretty good. I like that. Mm-hmm. Two women have the main division belts, and the former champion, who's been the best act of them all, is like losing her mind in a gimmick that everyone's like, I'm kind of digging this right now. This is fresh.
That would be dope. Yeah.
So I can say firmly Chris Statlander retains. Because that sounds so logical that it won't happen.
All right, I got you. Chris Statlander.
All right, next match we have Orange Cassidy defending, the best champion in wrestling, Orange Cassidy, defending the AEW International Championship against Jon Moxley. And I picked Mox.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Mox. Judging off of Orange Cassidy's promo, a lot of people was like, oh, this is like the farewell address. It's giving farewell address vibes. But you know what? I'm going to switch it up. I'm going with Orange Cassidy to retain. I'm going with Orange Cassidy to defeat Mox. I think a lot of people are thinking what I just said. You know what I mean? He's had this long reign. He's been killing it so far. He finally cuts a promo. Not only does he cut a promo, he cuts a really, really good promo. And this would be the time for him to lose the title. I say this would be the time for him to have the biggest signature win of the reign so
I
far,
agree.
and then probably take it into like Grand Slam or something like that. So
Right.
I'm going with Orange Cassidy to retain and defeat Mox.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I was gonna go in the way of Mox, just like you said, based off that promo, because I've been paying attention to Cassidy for the longest, and with every defense, he becomes even more tired. And I feel like this was the point. This was like the breaking point because I don't recollect a promo longer than what Cassidy did on Wednesday. So for him to speak that much out of out of character like that, and it's like I feel like this was gonna be like the fall right here, but I think this is going to be like you said, it's probably going to be like the biggest win of his like not his career, but like of this run that he's having, and it's going to
No, no, no.
prove.
If he beats Mox, champion or not, this is the biggest win of his career because Mox is
Okay,
like top tier, untouchable in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
Especially in a
Okay.
singles match.
Right. So this is going to be very meaningful for him, especially in this run, because this man has had the title for a long time, and I want him to keep going with it, man. So, yeah, I got Orange Cassidy.
Pockets retains. I think it's time for him to keep the title on him. I don't know if he's at 30 wins. If he's not at 30 wins, this should be 30 wins.
I will fact check
Um,
that.
yeah, this should be win 30. Depending if this isn't win 30 and it's over, he's still going to retain. Could lose, but he's going to retain.
Mm-hmm.
Moxley, I want to see him with the belt, but I don't want to see it happen at the expense of Orange Cassidy just now. I do see the loss happening after this pay per view, but Moxley did win at All In, right? Blackpool Combat Club won. Did they win?
Black.
That Stadium
No.
Stampede, they
Pockets
lost.
won, right? Yes, they lost.
Yeah.
I'm going Moxley.
I'm going Moxley. Okay.
Ron, how many wins? Did you check it?
Yep. He has successfully defended his title 31 times
Moxley.
and holds the record for most title defenses in AEW.
Moxley.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
going Mox.
Yeah. 31 times, which is a fucking
Yeah.
Okay.
amazing.
Mox not losing
Moxley.
twice in the same month. Pay per
Okay.
view, 2 week span. You know what I'm saying? Big match show out. Nah. Moxley win.
I got you.
All
John
right.
Moxley.
Next match, we have Kenny Omega one-on-one against Konosuke Takeshita. Going Omega. I think this is. I mean, we saw what happened at All In.
Mm-hmm.
Omega was pretty much dominant the last, let's say, 5 minutes of that match. And Takeshita snuck in for a roll up, celebrated with Don Callis. That's the reason why we have this one on one match.
Mm-hmm.
Omega one on one is a different beast than Omega in trios or Omega as a tag. One on one Omega is you need to be a Will Ospreay to beat Kenny Omega. And Takeshita could maybe one day be top tier, but he ain't that yet. You know what I mean? So Kenny Omega for the W.
My bad. Yeah, I got Kenny Omega as well. Based off that last match that they had, where homie caught Omega with the quick roll up, and I feel like Kenny's gonna come back. I I want to say it's gonna be another roll up, and then they're gonna have like a rubber match, and really gonna decide like, yo, who's the best. That's how I look at it right now. Could change, but yeah, I got Kenny.
That's interesting. Like an Omega roll up win is very interesting.
Yeah, and
A tumbling counter of the one winged angel ends up working in Omega's favor.
possibly some type of
Interesting.
roll up where it doesn't make him look cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that, like out of a winged angel or something like that.
I'm going Omega. He took the pinfall at All In to Takeshita. Takeshita is known to have amazing matches with top-level stars very early. Add Kenny Omega to that list, and add another loss to that list, too. But I can see the rubber match happening where they are going to have something at Grand Slam or Trouble at the Bubble or Wrestle Dream even. And it's going to be a big deal. Steel cage, lights out, something epic
Right.
to keep
Right.
Kenny Omega occupied right now and off Collision. Next match.
We have Bullet Club Gold. This is an 8-man tag, by the way. Bullet Club Gold consisting of the Guns, Jay White and Juice Robinson versus FTR, who happen to be the AEW Tag Team Champions, and the Young Bucks. Bullet Club Gold. This is the ultimate can they coexist. It's not 2 guys, it's 4 guys. Can FTR and the Young Bucks coexist on the same side? No, they cannot. And that's going to extend whatever they have going on into the next time that they are going to have a match. You know what I mean? Period.
Mm-hmm.
Over those tag titles. Versus the well-oiled machine that Bullet Club Gold is, I see no reason for them to not continue racking up victories. At some point, this is going to translate into gold for Bullet Club Gold, whether it be singles or tag or trios. But right now, they're going to beat a set of champions and a set of former champions. So, yeah, Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah.
I'm actually going with FTR and Young Bucks. I really don't have a legitimate reason. I just want to see them win because I feel like they
Ron
just
said, fuck it.
yeah, basically because I'm thinking about like how,
Fuck logic.
yeah, because how did this match even come together from like Dynamite or whatever? So I don't recollect too much from before.
Nah, it wasn't even Dynamite. It was like after All In.
Word,
It
it
was
was
just
after
in
All
the
In.
locker
Locker
Yeah.
room.
room chatter.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, I'm just going with FTR and Young Bucks.
FTR on the Bucks.
Yeah,
Word
FTR
up.
on the Bucks.
Bullet Club Gold, they're on a roll. If there's anyone I don't see getting 50-50 booking, it's finally Jay White and Juice Robinson, who are having a really good run. I just find it interesting who's going to be the next tag team champion challengers, being that there's 2 tag teams in one group. So maybe it'll be a 3-way dance for the tag titles with all of Bullet Club Gold against FTR, and we take it from there. We've got to kill pay-per-views. We've got to kill time. But or we just do a 4-way. That sounds like the next pay-per-view, right? The 4-way with all 4 teams. That sounds like the next variation of this feud. So Bullet Club Gold wins, so FTR can retain a 4-way feud. When the titles on the line actually matter.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bullet Club Gold for me. What's next?
Gotcha.
Okay, this is spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Rampage, you can fast forward about, 3 minutes here. We're not going to spend too much time. We have Better Than You, Baby, Adam Cole and MJF defending their newly won Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against, you guessed it, the Dark Order, specifically Alex Reynolds.
Nigga said you
and,
guessed it. You could have said Butcher and a Blade and then said you guessed it.
Yeah. I don't think anybody was going to guess that.
You guessed it.
including me.
Alex Reynolds and John Silver.
You guessed
Johnny
it.
Hungy.
Serpentico and Luther got a tag team title match at All Out against MJF and Adam Cole for the ROH tag titles. What a fucking bingo card that is.
Listen, folks, we don't need to spend any time here. I'm pretty sure this is MJF and Adam Cole across the board. Next match. We have Samoa Joe defending the Ring of Honor World TV Championship against Shane Taylor. Now, before we talk about this match, there was a Ring of Honor World TV Championship Eliminator Tournament, which none of us watched because it's on Honor Club. And yeah, tough times.
Yeah, and you shut down your Honor Club.
Yeah, but basically, it was a tournament. It was looks like 8 people here: Shane Taylor, Serpentico, Christopher Daniels, J.D. Drake, Tony Nese, Cheeseburger, Gravity, and Anthony Henry. Shane Taylor beat Serpentico, Chris Daniels, and Gravity to win this tournament and earn the shot at Samoa Joe. With all that being said, this is another match that I'm looking forward to, because it's going to be 2 big, meaty men slapping meat. Shane Taylor was very, very dominant. Shane Taylor Promotions was important previous to Tony Khan purchasing Ring of Honor. So this is not necessarily a reflection on the capabilities of Shane Taylor,
More
but
of a
he just
showcase.
hasn't been in the
Show what he
mix.
can do.
Yeah, he hasn't really been in the mix. So to your point, Chad, him being on this pay-per-view is probably the biggest look that he's had in a long time, if not ever.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And he's gonna, it's gonna be a competitive match against Samoa Joe. He's going to lose. Samoa Joe is going to retain, but this is going to be a big look and a good look for Shane Taylor. And I think either way, he wins, even with the loss.
Agreed.
Yeah, so you going with Samoa Joe.
Word up.
Samoa Joe.
Across the board. Keep it
Yep.
pushing. We have one more match
Samoa
on this
Joe,
card.
Samoa Joe.
Eddie Kingston and Shibata versus the Blackpool Combat Club, represented by Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. Who did I pick? I think I went with Eddie Kingston and Shibata.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
I remember from when that shit got erased.
yeah, I think I went with Eddie Kingston and Shibata. At the end of the day, this is all leading to. I mean, this is probably leading to Yuta versus Shibata as well, because Shibata is the Ring of Honor Pure Champ right now. But this is really leading to Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli, which may happen at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view coming up, may happen at Grand Slam. I don't know. But I think Eddie Kingston is definitely the person to take the title off of Claudio. I'm not sure exactly how they get there. This is kind of up in the air. I can see this going both ways, but for right now, I'm going to go with Kingston and Shibata. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
I don't know how we get it. I don't know if it's maybe Claudio, some kind of shenanigans, maybe Mox interferes, maybe Bryan Danielson pops up out of nowhere. Maybe there's a weapon behind the referee's back. But this is going to inform what the next moves are, which will be a continuation of this feud just broken down into singles matches. So yeah, Blackpool Combat Club for the dub.
I'm gonna go with Eddie and Shibata, and I think definitely Wheeler Yuta is gonna eat the pin, and Eddie's gonna get his somewhat of revenge from Claudio disrespecting him on Wednesday. And we see from there, I just know they're gonna continue their feud because that shit just seems most like it's definitely legit. So I'm all for it.
Blackpool Combat Club. Just going on the lines of the 50-50 booking, well, 25, 33%. They lost the last pay-per-views. They lost on Dynamite. They're going to win. This is their pay-per-view to win. You know what I'm saying? They got to come out victorious and show they're a dominant heel faction, not a bunch of losers who come out through the crowd and pop everybody and beat people up and bleed. This reminds me of Judgment Day. That they're just throwing niggas together in matches continuously, and they're just spinning the wheels and just going, here's another variation of this match. Here's another variation of this match. Add in this guy. Claudio's going to knock Shibata's head off and take the pinfall, and that's going to continue the feud just off of that. Shibata's got to take the pinfall because you can't pin Kingston right now. He's probably one of the quietest, biggest baby faces in AEW. So Shibata can afford the L. Him and Yuta can do their thing. And really, if Yuta was to take a pinfall, he should just get his ass kicked and kicked out the group. Because all he does is lose and take L's for the group. Because that's what's going to happen. And I don't want to see that implosion happen right now. Not right now. So, Blackpool Combat Club for the dub. And I got 5 points too.
All right, that's AEW All Out. We got some 5-pointers.
5-pointer number 1. What match opens the show? Hey, yo, what you got?
Oof.
I know, it's such a who's who of fucking performers on this card. You really could just go anywhere here.
I could say that we get better than you, baby. Tag team. It's not. Why not start with the world champ that's not in a world champ match? So yeah, I'm gonna go Adam Cole and MJF versus the Dark Order. Start out hot.
Like a Dark Order match. Start out hot.
Yeah. It's also an Adam Cole MJF match. Start out hot.
I might go the same way. Why not? Why not start out with a double clothesline? Why the fuck
Double
not?
clothesline.
I'm going with that too. That's my 5 pointer. I'm gonna go with that one. I was thinking that when I cooked the question up.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this card and I was like, yeah.
The most
I could
exciting
see.
thing, get it out the way.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I was gonna say Taylor and Joe,
No, he just
but
opened. I could see it being the Blackpool and Kingston match. Truthfully, I could see it being that one. But it's just like Jesus Christ, how many times is Claudio gonna open a pay per view? Shit.
as many times as well,
Yeah, I mean, I know.
okay.
if it's not a Ring of Honor pay per view, he's wide open.
So
So yeah, I'm going with that.
So
Question
it's
2.
mhm.
and you, baby.
What's the main event?
Oh, good
That's
What's
one.
main
harder.
eventing? What's
That's
main
That's harder than
eventing
me.
all in B level? All out B level.
oh maybe nah. I was about to say I'm gonna go between Cassidy and Moxley, or um maybe Omega and Tashida, possibly between those two.
Yeah,
I gotta think
I'm
about
I'm
gonna
this
go.
one.
going
Out of the
yeah.
two, because I think that those are definitely the correct answers. Um, Out of the two, I'm gonna just it's a pick 'em, and I'm going with Cassidy Mox really only because there's a title involved. I
Yeah.
think this pay per view ends with a title match, but Omega main eventing makes sense. But I think that because there's no title there, yeah, international title closes the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go with that. Because I can't. Because I'm looking at the rest of the card and I'm like, I can't see anything else strong enough to main event. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Cassidy and Moxley.
Unless it happens to be the tag match, and all of us are wrong.
Right. And
So
that's the
yeah,
other alternative. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
fucking great.
you got that.
Uh, I'm going with y'all, man. I'm taking that. That's the main event, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? I think
Here's
it's
to
got
hoping that Borg is not tapped in live or does not watch this back so he can just look at the card and pick something that we didn't pick.
pick some outlandish shit. Just be like, yeah, yo, Samoa Joe, Shane Taylor to open the show. Like, all right, word, that works.
Yeah,
Uh,
it makes sense too, but yeah.
yeah, I'm going with that. And the last question is, do we get cameo appearances from Hangman, Jericho, and Guevara? All three.
I just forgot about something. Before we answer this last question, there is one more match
Get the fuck out
for
of here.
All Out.
Okay.
God damn.
Oh
Let's
Lord.
just bring this one up here.
Oh, come on, man. Does this even count? Oh, God.
This Saturday,
This is a
before we
wild
even
card.
get to the pay per view, we have Ricky Starks
Do we have?
challenging Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to a strap match at All Out. Now let's keep this at a kayfabe only point of view because this may or may not happen for various Phil Brooks related reasons, but Ricky Starks challenging Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Let's say that this does actually uh, get accepted by Steamboat, and this is a match.
Mhm.
Who wins the battle of the Rickies?
Ricky.
I can't. I can't. Yeah, Ricky wins.
I'm saying Ricky,
Starks,
Ricky Starks. Starks is gonna
Starks and
win.
Steamboat. Yeah, I think this is Starks across the board. I just wanted to make sure we had this down on paper.
I don't know if he should
Did
be
we have?
fighting pay per
Did we
view, bro.
have to, man? Come on, man.
This guy's
It's
fighting a
it's a
72-year-old
booked
man.
match.
Hey,
It's
he's
a
got to
booked
get
match,
I forgot.
got to
or
get
it's at
over
least
somehow, right?
it's at least a possibly booked match. So let's just make sure we have it down on paper before.
You got to get
Because
over
like
somehow.
what could happen here, um, pending whatever's pending, is Ricky Starks challenges Steamboat and
You
Punk
know
comes out to his
what?
aid, but we haven't gotten there yet, so we don't know if that is or
Hmm.
isn't happening. So right now, if at face value it's Ricky versus Ricky, I'm going with Starks. I assume both of y'all are going with Starks as well.
Yeah, I'm going with Stark.
Yeah, I'm going with Starks.
All right, cool. What was the last question?
I'm just going to keep the last question easy. John Moxley, Orange Cassidy, will there be blood?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
with everybody
That's a
saying.
absolute. That's a absolutely, absolutely.
With everybody saying. Who bleeds first, though?
Who bleeds first? Good question. Good. Yeah, I like that. Who bleeds first? John Moxley. Moxley
Mm.
bleeds first.
You know what? Is that going to be the question? Who bleeds first, or
Yeah. If there's blood, who bleeds first?
who bleeds first? You know what?
Okay.
I might go
So
with
you have
Cass.
Mox, you have Cass.
I might go with Cassidy. I'm going with Cassidy because if he's going to take the W, he's going to have the most struggle. So
This is
he's
like
going first. So
when Marcel no, or like fucking Mookie Betts is about to get a recorded base. This is like a guaranteed layup right here. It's like, oh, I could definitely put a fucking negative 120 on this one. Like, this is definitely expected, yo. Moxley's gonna
Yeah.
bleed, yo. Definitely put my money on Moxley bleeding.
I'm gonna go with Orange Cassidy bleeding first.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go with Orange. I think he gets beaten to a bloody pulp and pulls it out some kind of way.
Taking a plus 500 on that one.
There you go.
I'm going
All right, predictions are in.
wait,
At
you
least
wait.
3/4 of the predictions are
I'm
in.
sorry, not to cut you off. Chad, you said Moxley's
Mox
bleeding
bleeds
first.
first.
So
Yeah.
Mox, yeah.
Mox.
Predictions are locked
Hmm.
outside
There we
of
go.
And
Bugs, but
and
we'll
who
get Bugs locked in.
and who we say closes the show? We said damn, I forgot already.
Oh,
Um,
I went with the international. I went with
right, 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 right,
Cassidy
right,
and Mox.
right. Gotcha. I
I
think
think all of us did,
we
no?
we all said that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
While you were talking, I redid that whole chart, so it's back in the notes again.
Come on, stack guy Ron, man.
Yeah. Because I was like, I'm not doing
Stack
this tomorrow.
That.
word up. All right, so the picks are in. We got payback picks. We have all out picks,
Let's
and
do it.
we have a exit survey question, which is as follows. I mean, very simple, nothing scientific here. Which are you looking forward to more? This weekend we have Saturday, we have Sunday covered, both PLE pay per view, all out or payback. Which show are you looking forward to more? All out for me. The only thing missing with all out, excluding if you want to, complain about builds and whatever. I mean, it gets redundant after a certain point, especially in 2023. But I think the only thing lacking for this show, at least on paper, is a big world title singles match. And that's because the world champ for the men's division is in a tag match, and the women's world champ isn't booked on the show. But other than that, like on paper, I think this is going to be a really, really fire show.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. All out.
I'm going all out too, and you made a good point about like the build. I look at it like ROH, where it's like not too heavy on storylines, but at the same time, whenever I look, you're gonna get a dope show, regardless of character development, storyline, whatever. So all in's kind of in the same boat where there's some storylines, and there's some shit just came together a few days ago. But regardless, I think it's gonna be a solid show, performance wise, and go from there. There you go.
2 pay-per-views put together at the last minute, one put together a little bit more sooner than the other. I'm going with Payback as my pay-per-view of the weekend because in usual WWE fashion, we sit through, we laugh, we joke about these PLEs, these B-level PLEs without Roman, and then we watch the whole shit and we're like, yeah, that shit was actually like fucking better than Royal Rumble. Like, god damn, that was actually quality. Like, I didn't think I cared about this pay-per-view as much as I did after I watched the whole shit. And I was like, yo, these matches were really good. Like that tag match, I could see us talking about the tag title match, like, yeah, they fight each other every week, but like this one actually felt like really, really good for a change. You know what I'm saying? LA Knight and The Miz, like there's matches that I feel like we'll end up talking about where we're like, wow, that actually was solid. I think they'll win for the weekend because All In is so last minute and clunky that we're gonna have to just sit through a bunch of fucking bullshit that's gonna just be like, I could have did without this, man, or just like. This is missing some sizzle right here. Still a good pay-per-view, but I just don't think it'll hit as much as Payback will. That's my take on it. The RSC, the Almighty.
With that said,
There you go.
catch y'all. This is episode 51. It's in the books. We'll catch y'all same time, same channel next week.
Yes,
Peace.
Gang,
sir.
gang.
Peace.
We out.